Please don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell to receive everything that's new. When this little girl threw the first pitch, the catcher removed his mask and she burst out crying. Elena Adams had just thrown the first pitch of the game, a rare privilege offered to only a handful of special guests. But after the catcher scooped up her ball and removed his mask, she started sprinting toward the man on the other side of the field. In 2013, Elena Adams was a 9-year-old girl living in Tampa Bay, Florida. At the time, her family situation was a little unusual, as her father was deployed away from home with the U.S. Army. But one day, something unexpected happened while she was at school. The principal called her and her mom into his office. It seemed that he had something to tell them. Yet, despite what she had assumed, Elena wasn't in trouble. Quite the opposite, in fact. The principal had called her in to tell her that she had been selected for a very special honor. Because of her family's military connection, she'd been chosen to make an appearance at the Tampa Bay Rays' next baseball game. In fact, she was going to be the person to throw the first pitch of the game. The USO had decided that Elena should get this special treat because of her father's commitment to the armed forces. You see, for the previous 2 years, her dad, Lieutenant Colonel Will Adams, had been serving his country in Afghanistan. Before Elena knew it then, it was time for her to head onto the field for her big moment. She was, of course, dressed in a Tampa Bay Rays shirt, and she even had a matching bow in her hair. But before she threw her pitch, she looked up at the big screen in the stadium and saw something surprising. Playing on the screen was a pre-recorded message from her father, who was giving her advice and wishing her good luck with the throw. He told her, "Stay focused, throw the ball, and I love you." He ended the message by adding that he'd see her soon. Then after the message, the catcher walked onto the field, ready to receive Elena's ball. No doubt to Elena's relief, she threw a well-aimed pitch down the center of the field, and the catcher scooped it up without a problem. But then something surprising happened. The catcher removed his mask. After a moment of disbelief, Elena started walking towards the figure. Then once she was absolutely certain of his identity, she began running towards him. Yes, the man in the mask was her dad. Elena sprinted towards him with a huge smile on her face. When they met, he took her into his arms, picked her up, and gave her a giant hug. The crowds in the stadium burst into applause as they watched the emotional reunion. While they were still embracing, Elena's mom, Dana, joined in on the hug too. It turned out that even she hadn't known that her husband was coming back to see them. Will had been hiding in a hotel to keep the whole thing a surprise. "That's the hardest part," he later told Yahoo Sports, "being back home and not being able to see them. But keeping it a secret proved to be worth it. After all, the look on his wife and daughter's faces will be something for them to remember forever." After the family had had the chance to catch up while they watched the game, a Fox TV crew went to interview them. And when little Elena was asked how it felt when she realized that she was pitching to her dad, she said the cutest thing. "I was very excited, and for a second I thought it was a dream," she said. But it was no dream. Her Army dad had come back to surprise her and her mom in the most incredible way. The whole thing had been meticulously planned too, with the TV crew on hand to capture the family's special moment. It was such a touching scene that it was no surprise when footage of the reunion later went viral online. Yes, viewers worldwide have been moved by the emotional father-daughter reunion, and the video has received over 1.5 million views since it was first uploaded. Unfortunately though, it wasn't all good news that day. The Rays, who were playing at home, actually lost the game that night, disappointingly beaten 4-3 by the Boston Red Sox. However, not even that could take away this family's joy at being brought together again. Indeed, it's one thing to surprise your family after a long deployment abroad, but it's quite another to do it in such style. And what's more, Lieutenant Colonel Will Adams proved himself to be a very cool dad by organizing such a special moment for his little girl. Please share this video with your friends below, and don't forget to visit a new channel. Watch JoJo MDS and watch JoJo Animals.